Hello, 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 guys. Welcome. Actually, it has been a minute since I've been live on my personal page. I was going to say, welcome back to my live video. This is going to be the stream of videos that I will be doing live on my personal page. And the goal of these videos is to help you see if Heal the Unicorn, Spiritual Awakening for Women is a community that you're looking for, to help you see what women are going through in a group. Women, I will be bringing stories to you and sharing stories with you from women that I've been working with who have actually been doing the things that many of us might be avoiding doing. But before we continue, I want to make sure that this live stream here does not show proper comments. So I need to make sure that I have my live stream open somewhere else and I can respond to comments, unless the personal page is a little different than the group. So we will check, we will figure that out as well as we're doing this together. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so that's there, just in case if the comments are not working here and they are appearing on there. So before we go into the story, I wanted to share with you guys, some of you might know, some of you might not know, but my soul's purpose is to help women to get their shit together so they can break free from that mental prison that they find themselves in and live the life that they love and can be proud of. So, and the story that I want to share with you today is, maybe that's what I should have put on there, overwhelm. It is a story of overwhelm, really. So a mom of 3 kids has gone back to work and has been adjusting to work life. Husband is there, but not fully helpful. And as many of you might, I'm struggling to say what I want to say, because usually in the group people are aware of the conversations we previously have been having, and we continue the conversations. But here we go. So most people have a relationship with their partner and they are not happy in their relationship for many different reasons, actually. And it's important to sit down and figure out what those reasons are for yourself. And from that point is when you can start evolving, both you and your partner. Communication is at the core of our human existence now. And most people do not know the art of communication. They don't know how to express themselves, how to talk about what they're going through, what they're feeling, what they're experiencing, and most importantly, they don't know how to talk about the things that they need, the things that they need right now in this moment. Why? It's because they don't believe in that moment that they are worthy of anyone's help and support, and that the other person is not going to be understanding to what they're going through. Because in our mind, it goes to, you're such a little baby. You're stronger than that. You can do better than that. We start to beat ourselves up or encourage ourselves to do better and to be better, but using negativity. And negativity does not breathe life into things. It takes life out of things. Positivity breathes life into things. And many people actually feel like repulsion to positivity, especially when they start going into the positive direction instead of the negative direction. So this mother also has her own health issues as well, and does not feel like she gets much help. Having gone back to work with a new baby is challenging for any mother. Add another kid on top of it, older kids that were there, you still we all have 24 hours in a day, and if all of the time goes to everyone else and nothing goes to you, this is why you feel like you are not good enough, because you are not giving enough to yourself. You believe everyone else is good enough and worthy of your time and your energy and your effort, but you yourself, you don't believe you are. You don't believe you are. Because if you did, you would find time for yourself to do the work that you know you need to do to get yourself from where you are to where you want to be instead. Because that's where the oxygen is. And right now, where you are, there's not very much oxygen. And this is where all of the heaviness, the cloudiness, the unclarity, the overwhelm, why is this happening to me? Why does nobody care? Why does nobody see that I'm in pain? Why does nobody see that I'm the one suffering? Why does anybody see that, hey, I too need time for myself? But here's the thing. We somehow have come to this way of looking at mothers especially as if they are some kind of a superhuman, and that they are that they can do it all. And by doing it all, meaning taking care of all the kids, however many kids one has, taking care of yourself, taking care of the house, the other things outside of the house, hopefully for yourself, and then for your husband. I don't know if I mentioned the husband. Or the wife, whoever it is. And that takes a lot of energy. So what is left for you? Out of the 24 hours in the day, you being a superhero and saving everyone, what about you? That's exactly the question you're probably asking. And this is the question that this mother was asking. And she's not the only mother who I have worked with who has been dealing with this. And having gone deeper into what is really happening, it really comes down to what I because they are called that, the wheel of life. There is just the wheel of life, the general wheel of life that has 8 parts that are important for life. I will actually take it out and I'll show you what the wheel of life actually looks like. But there is one for every part of your life, of your existence. But this is the general wheel of life. So this is typically one of the places that I would start with women, with mothers, with women that I work with, and helping them see where they're at, where they hurting the most, and basically where they are on that scale, and for them to help them identify where they are emotionally, physically, energetically, spiritually on this wheel of life, and start working towards one area, because by working towards one, everything else gets better, everything else moves. And then, so here are the other wheels of life, just to help you see what kind of work a person needs to do in order for them to live that life that they love and would feel proud of. And it's really getting it all together, getting it figured out for you for the time now, because you figuring things out will continue to change and evolve as you continue to change and evolve. The things that you're figuring out now might not be the things that you'll be figuring out in 6 months from now. But so the original wheel of life, which is the 8 pieces of pie or pizza, whatever you want to call it, and the other ones is relationship, which is social or intimate relationships, spirituality, personal development, and personal growth as well. Those two are a little bit different. Health and aging. This one is a huge one for everyone. This is definitely something that we had worked on and went in deep to help her understand what she was going through, and then where you are and where you're going, and then figuring out everything in between. Health and aging. Fun and enjoyment is another. That one is a fun wheel of life. And leadership wheel of life, because all of us are a leader. Every single person is a leader, whether by choice or by default. Somebody is watching you and learning from you and is taking notes from you, and you're doing that with other people in your life as well. Next one is career and profession. Next one is family and parenting. Family and parenting, those two are separate ones. So, as you can see, it does take a little bit of work to, identify where you're at, what's happening, and why, and where to go from here. And this is not something that I personally even enjoyed doing on my own. That's why even when I'm ready to go through any of this kind of work, I typically reach out to my coach to help me work through it. Because when we're doing the work on something ourselves, there's energy to it. The best way to describe it is that instead of you just having one fire, you can have two fires. And two fires, there's so much more worth, so much more things that can be created and cooked with two fires going. And two fires is being two people, two energies coming to co-create something together. And for me, it has been in many different areas of my life. This is not just something that you do with a coach. This is also with a friend, with your partner, with your kids. There's different things there's different parts of you that you want to evolve and get better at. And you probably already have the people in your life that can help you to get from where you are to the next step, and maybe even to the next step and to the next step. So the question I want to ask, because I want to keep these videos short and sweet and really just help you to see, how does this make sense to you? Is this what I go through? Is this what I experience? How can I relate? And then in relating to the story and what a person is going through, you can learn from their journey and their experience and see what's in it for you, what you're learning, and then go and apply. Because just learning something means quite little. Depending on what you're learning, yes, some things can mean a lot, but most things that you're learning, they're going to require action. They're going to require you to actually do something. And sometimes it might be you doing something that's uncomfortable. You already do these things on a daily basis. Some of you wake up in the morning and you already are uncomfortable and you don't want to deal with any parts of your day, because the whole entire day, it's the whole entire discomfort. So if that's where you start, that's a great place to start. And once you shift how your morning goes, your whole entire day transforms and follows into the next day, and follows into the next day, and follows into the next day. It's a ripple effect. It's the momentum that we all love, and yet we run away from the momentum, because when we get so close to that final destination and it feels real, and we ourselves yet don't feel like we are worthy of whatever it is that we're about to have or experience or acquire, we stop or slow down or take it easy. But instead, what we're actually meant to do is lean in to that discomfort. Lean in to that fear. Lean in to that dark, scary cave and see what's inside. Because when you look inside you, you don't know what you might find in there. And it might be the very thing that you have been actually looking for. And the way to find out, the only way to find out, is to actually look, to explore, to see if that is something that you want to check out or not. Whatever it is that you're curious about. So for some people, it might be even starting painting house or refinishing furniture, some arts and crafts, some DIY. For others, it might be some form or specific form of exercise or mental strength training or physical strength training. Or it might be, hey, I want to change a certain part of my personality because this one is not working. So in order for me to shift from being a total introvert to I forgot the word. There's another one where you have extrovert and you have introvert, and there's a word in the middle of a person who's both. And it takes work to get there. Now, it's a great idea to do how do I put it? What I was talking about. If you have the idea, you learn something, and you go and do nothing about it, nothing's going to change. So you learn that in order for you to have this personality trait, you need to do this, and this, and that. And you don't do it. You just learn of what you need to do in order for you to have that. You're not going to have it. You're not going to acquire. You're not going to gain. You're not going to become or getting you closer to that personality trait that you want unless you do the work. And when you start doing the work, that is when you start noticing the difference and you start recognizing that it's actually not as big and scary as it has been made out to be. And the reason why it's been made out to be in that way is so that way you continue to play small, feeling unworthy, feeling like you are not good enough, and no matter what you do, that just does not seem to, that feeling that you have, that does not seem to settle, or does not settle for long enough. And it goes into the root of, who am I? Do you know the answer to that question for you? Do you know who you are? In all aspects, in all areas of your existence, do you know who you are? And when did you start questioning your self-worth? It's something, the questioning of self-worth, it is a journey. It is not something just happens overnight. It is us being exposed to the elements of worthlessness, meaning that whatever you're watching, whatever you're listening, or we're listening as a child growing up, as a teenager growing up, as a young adult growing up, and now as a mature adult, still continue to grow up. What did you listen to? What did you watch? Who did you talk to? What language was used? What words were used? Did you actually read the dictionary and learn the meaning of words to understand what you're actually saying and what people are saying? Because a lot of people are going about and having conversations and loving these conversations and feel great after the conversations. But if you really pay attention and listen to the conversations, they're powerless. A lot of conversations people feel are fueling are actually powerless conversations because they are rooted in the pain and the suffering and not in what can I do? Where do I go? how do I overcome this? How do I do this? And when I do, this is how I feel. This is the result. And then the result of me trying this is this. And it really comes down to you're not living the life that you want to live. And most people actually aren't living the life they want to live because they have not even taken a class on what life do I want to live. So perhaps starting with a class of what life do I want to live and identifying what that is, and then figuring out what you need to put in place and what you need to do in order for you to live that life that you want to live. A lot of these things that now I'm gonna wrap this up. So I want to remind you that if you are not in the group, Heal the Unicorn Spiritual Awakening for Women. If you're not in the group, join the group and check it out. But a lot of the things that we talk about in the group are going to be the things that help you to move the needle in your own growth, move the needle in your life. Things, not just put a band-aid on and an open wound. It is going to be the things that are going to help you get your shit together. So that's it. I am tired, overstimulated, I would say. That's the best way to describe it. And what does overstimulation feel like? Some of you, I love to actually hear, how do you feel overstimulation in your body? How do you recognize overwhelm, since we're talking about overwhelm and overstimulation? So for me, one of the ways that I start to feel overstimulation is my brain is slow to function. It's almost like there's a fog and just tiredness and almost like a feeling of I don't really care in the body, which is great, some people would say. And I'm sure you have experienced that, where even when you feel sick and you feel kind of sluggish and you have this feeling of I don't care, if even, and no matter what happens right now, you wouldn't even care. And that is why it's important. And I know I'm also adding more technology into my day, and this is why I'm feeling this way, overstimulated, because technology overstimulates us. And my solution to that is to, because I have another 45 minutes now, to just go sit outside with nothing, no music, nothing, no phone, the phone getting silenced until it's time for me, for my next call. And just to be in silence. To me, that is the calmest way to be, to release, to just let go and gain clarity and more perspective. Because right now it feels like there's the overstimulation, feels like there's a lot, because there is a lot of information that I have been consuming and applying, and application part is also exhausting. Gaining knowledge is exhausting, application part is exhausting, which means that our body and our mind and our spirit and our soul needs the rest. You yourself, even if you watch a documentary on Netflix, you're learning something from that documentary. And your body and your mind and your spirit and your soul need some time to process what you just watched and connect the dots. And if you binge watch a lot of documentaries on Netflix, you're going to feel a certain way. And I'm using Netflix as an example because all of us are familiar with Netflix, but I'm just referring to any form of, or any platform that you use to acquire some knowledge, whether it's YouTube, whether it is forums, whether it is even just asking the AI some questions and it gives you the answers. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting answer. Ask an interesting question, I'll give you an interesting answer and see what happens. Just like today, I asked the AI to help in generating a meditation for the Sacred Circle that we had today at 10 a.m. with the girls, based on what they were sharing. and what everybody was sharing and going through. And it was an interesting meditation. None of this is, by the way, recorded. So it just happens in the moment, and there's no going back to re-listen and rewatch anything, because that's the sacredness part of the Secret Circle for women. And it was a really, really, really nice meditation. I was surprised. Now, it's time to go outside and just let everything go and be. And if you are feeling that same way, do what you feel you are needing right now. That is going to be your medicine that will help you to feel grounded, to help you to feel more steady and calm and peaceful. And I guess another way of spending what I'm going to be doing is reflecting. So spending time reflecting on things in the beginning. For me, the questions and the process kind of changes as I do it each and every time for myself, with myself. But really just asking myself the questions that are coming up. What have I been going through that may be causing me to feel this way? And what am I still resisting and learning about it? And I can learn now. And just going over either the day or the weeks or the month, depending on what it is that I feel like I'm sitting with, and reflecting on it. And after reflection, 5 to 10 minutes, just sitting silently and breathing, focusing on breath as the thoughts come in, just letting them go and not necessarily ignore them. Nobody likes to be ignored, even your thoughts, because they can come back with vengeance, and you can also start to feel like you are forgetting or missing something, that something is important, and that feeling is not a great feeling. So allow them to come in, and remind yourself that if this thought is meant to be yours, this idea, this thought, this realization is meant to be yours, so come back. And sometimes it actually does help to even journal, to just sit down and journal instead of being in peace and quiet, and just journaling itself is at peace and quiet. It's a great way to self-reflect. So that is all. Thank you very much. I'm going to go and have my first coffee of the day. I feel like I'm ready for it. And enjoy my peace and quiet outdoors and just listening to the water trickling. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this one. Lower energy of the video, just to kind of ease you into the higher energetic world of myself and the girls that are adding value in not Empath Unicorn Academy group anymore, Heal the Unicorn Spiritual Awakening for Women Facebook group. So if you're finding yourself on this journey, or if you're even finding yourself relating to what I'm expressing, what I'm going through right now, then the group will be a great place for you to get all of the knowledge, all of the wisdom, all of the know-hows and tools. As I may not be showing up very much on my personal page yet, I am in my group, our group. But all of us refer to it as my group, because when we see it as mine, where everything that we bring to it is just so much more powerful. It's like your kids, right? When you're talk about your kids, you talk about your kids in your way, and you take care of them in that way. And then with other people's kids, you treat them differently. You gotta take care of them differently, because they're others, they're not yours. But when you decide that, even though right now I'm talking about the group, but when you decide that you are your own being, and you are worthy, and that you deserve everything that you have been dreaming and wanting, and you know that is to be the truth, because otherwise you would not be dreaming these things up, and that in order for you to get there, you gotta figure out a few pieces on this path and move them out of the path so you can see the path where you're going, and continue cleaning it up as you continue to grow and evolve. Anyways, thank you very much for listening, for watching, and until I see you guys either on the live next week in here. I aim for 11:30, but 11:30 to 12ish is the window of when I plan on going live in the group, depending on when the previous call is done. And tomorrow we have Heal the Unicorn podcast, which we do live in the group that I keep mentioning, which is Heal the Unicorn Spiritual Awakening for Women. We are going to be talking about raising entrepreneurial children. And this is actually one of the biggest reasons why I am so tired and overstimulated, because I got to socialize so much yesterday, helping my child explore his entrepreneurial bones, muscles, skills, and he was amazing. Anyway, so I'm going to leave that for tomorrow if you want to listen to what it's like or what you do. And actually, let me see if the topic name is any different or an actual topic name, so that way you bear with me just 1 second when I open. And tomorrow is the 4th, right? October 4th. So October 4th we'll be talking about raising entrepreneurial children. Just straightforward, raising entrepreneurial children, and everything under that umbrella of raising entrepreneurial children. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. Until I see you guys all in the group or the next live video that I do on this page. Until then, bye guys.